Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone, on this Sunday, February the 11th, 2024, Super Bowl Sunday, because later on, well, probably within about an hour or so, San Francisco 49ers will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in Las Vegas. But you know why I'm here. But first, let me do my introduction. Welcome to another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor, presented by Publicity Agents, and I am your host, Tony Hart. Peace in. Yes, you know why I'm here, so let's get down to it. The Sacramento Kings played the first of the three road games today. They played the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, at the Paycom Center, losing 127-113. 127-113. So the Kings, they fall to 30-22 on the season. They are now 15-13 on the road. And I would say they might have probably dropped a shade down here in the Western Conference standings, because it's getting really tight in that area. So the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Kings for the first time this season. The Kings beat them the first two times in Golden One, and it was a really played games before both of them. But this time, the Thunder, who are flirting with the top seed in the Western Conference, I think they're down to 3 or 4 now, but they're bouncing around right now like the other teams. But this afternoon, I was really able to see what they were made of against the Kings, because it looked like the Kings had their number. At least this trip, the Thunder ended a 8-game losing skid to the Kings. But this is one of those games that I want to see, how they would react to the Kings, since they have been playing pretty well all season, and they've been beating some other top teams in the league, because they are now 36-17 on the season, and they are 21-6 at Paycom Center, Oklahoma City. But they looked all of that today, offensively and defensively. Now, for the ones who've seen it, they could witness, what went down. But the Kings were in this game. Okay, they were down by 10 points, 13 points, in the first half, on certain occasions, but they were playing enough to maintain, which was giving me the thought that, that they could still pull out this win. And there were some times that they were fighting back to, try to get that victory, but it just didn't happen tonight. And so, this is the second game for the Kings after the NBA trade deadline, which was Thursday, and they basically didn't make any movement. They didn't add any personnel that they want to bring in to help the team, move further along in the season and hopefully into the playoffs. They kind of stood pat. Everyone knows that. Monty McNair, he came out and spoke the day after. Matter of fact, the day that the Kings played the other night, when they beat the Denver Nuggets at home at Golden One Center, and pretty much explained, all his reasoning for him and Wes Wilcox not making a move. So now you have what you've been having, with the Sacramento Kings, to go forward for the rest of the season. This is it, okay? And it's basically the same team that you had last season that made that playoff run and made it to the playoffs, okay? So now they're going to have to do it again. And what we're going to see right now, in these last 30 games, it's going to be tougher for you. And they know this. It's been pretty much tough, the whole season, with some pretty bad losses, but they still have a winning record. Okay, it's still 8 games. Still get 8 games over 500. But it's going to get tougher, okay? Because there were some changes made with Phoenix and Dallas Mavericks. They brought in some players that definitely going to help them further along. Matter of fact, Dallas brought in Daniel Gafford from the district, Washington Wizards, in a trade. They traded to get him, and he had 19 points last night against Oklahoma City, and they won that game. Dallas beat Oklahoma City 146-111. So in Phoenix, they have David Roddy. You know, they pulled him in from the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, he's definitely going to be a big help because they need some more defensive help. Okay, they need a 3-and-D. They need some wing players, so he's definitely going to help in that capacity too. So it's going to get thicker for the Kings. That's basically, you know, what I'm talking about right here. But we'll talk a lot about that. The Kings don't play again. Matter of fact, they play Phoenix on Tuesday, so we'll be back for that one after that game to see how they fare in that one. And then they will have one more game, and then they won't be back until Sacramento till February the 22nd, when they will be back for one game. San Antonio Spurs, and then they go back out on the road, and then they come back home. So it's the month of February. That's basically how it goes. But this is how it went down. Once again, the Oklahoma City Thunder took down the Sacramento Kings 127-113. And the Kings, Domantas Sabonis, he recorded his 15th triple-double of the year, and he has now 34 straight double-doubles. 34 straight double-doubles. So he's taking that Sacramento Kings franchise record. He's taking that through the roof, because he could extend that for a few more games the way he has been playing. But he did have a triple-double tonight in the form of 21 points, 11 rebounds, 14 assists, 1 steal. 5 turnovers, and that was basically the Sacramento Kings issue tonight, was turning over the ball. There was a lot of miscues and a lot of mishandling of that ball. They had 18 turnovers on the game, 11 in the first half. So that made it really tough for that team. That's why, you know, if they were taking care of the ball just a little bit more, you know, just a little bit more care, they would, you know, they could have won the game. They could have won the games in, you know, different areas, but that was one of the glaring things that was causing them problems. Malik Monk came off the bench, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 4 turnovers. Okay, he did that in 29 minutes. He was 10 for 26 from the floor. He made 6 of 10 shots in 3-point territory. He didn't go to the line not one time, because a lot of those shots were perimeter shots to begin with. But he's been blowing it up these last few games. Matter of fact, Monk and Lyles been blowing up. Lyles didn't have he wasn't that much of an effect on the game. Of course, he was on the court. He didn't have that much of an effect on the game for the Kings today. But the bench is playing pretty strong right now, and they definitely need that, you know, coming from those two top reserve, and Monk and Lyles. So yeah, 29 minutes. Monk 6 for 10 from the field. Those 4 turnovers. So that's 9 turnovers between Domantas and Malik. Okay, matter of fact, De'Aaron Fox, he had 3 turnovers. So that makes it 12 of the 18 turnovers that they had in the game. De'Aaron finished the game with 15 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists in 32 minutes. He was 6 for 17 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3-point territory, and 1 for 3 from the free throw line. So the 15 points equaled his last output in the win over the Denver Nuggets the other night. And they basically just, you know, blew the lid off the Nuggets that go to 1 series. But he had a double-double in that game. He had 15 points and 10 assists in that game. He had 5 assists in this game. So, hey, Davion Mitchell. Yeah, that was in the third quarter, that early third quarter. He made some key contributions, you know, to keep the Kings in the game. I think he made like 3 straight threes. So he was on a one-man scoring run by himself. And Domantas Sabonis had some basket mixed up in there somewhere, but Davion was pretty much the man. And as we always know, he played some pretty decent defense. And Keon Ellis was in the backcourt with him too. for a period of time too. He only had 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 block, but Mike and his staff put him and Monk in there specifically for the defensive ends. So, yeah, and as we know, Keon, he signed a multi-year deal with the Sacramento Kings, so he's no longer a two-way player. We won't see any more time down at the G League team, the Stockton Kings. So he got another 3-year deal. He earned it, no doubt about that. And pretty much, I think the Kings were getting close to that 50-game total where they had to make a decision to extending for the season, as they did for the next 3 years, or just let him ride out with the G League. But they definitely need him on this roster for defensive purpose. So congratulations to Keon Ellis for getting a new contract with the Kings. That means he's definitely going to be there for the next 1 or 2 years and stuff like that. I think it was like a $5.4 million deal for the next 3 years, as it's been reported. So it come out to like $1.7, $1.8 million a year, stuff like that. That's good for a free agent. Okay, he signed on with the free agent back in 2022 out of Alabama. So that's good. That's what you want to see. I think the last person who got a deal similar to that was Chezi Metu when he was in Sacramento. Remember, he spent some time down with the Stockton Kings too. And I think he was the last person to get a multi-year deal as a two-way player. But Keon, congratulations. Okay, the Kings they shot 48% from the floor against the Thunder. They made 44 shots out of 90 attempts, and they made 16 of 42 in three-point territory for 38%. 9 for 13 at the free throw line at 69%. Of course, we want them to have a higher percentage, shooting at the free throw line, but would have to say that it probably would have been too much of a difference if it was like a 1 or 2 point loss. Yes, I would say, those free throws had something to do with it, but I'm gonna stay away from that right now because they played some really good defense tonight too. It's just that they just couldn't penetrate what Thunder were doing on the offensive end because they had 2 dynamite players that was lighting it up from the beginning into the end. And I am talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of those. He had 38 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and he did this damage in 38 minutes. He was 15 for 26 shooting from the field. He made 3 or 4 trays and 5 or 9 free throws. Okay, but just a dynamic performance from this young man who is an NBA All-Star this year as well. He was voted in for that position. The 1 steals and the 2 blocks, well, that's pretty much with the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's pretty much what they are. They rank in the top 5 in steals and blocks at 8.2 a game and steals and 6.6 blocks a game. They had 9 blocks on a game. Okay, 9 blocks as a team in this one. Chet Holmgren, he had 4 blocks, but what I'm getting at, 8 of those 9 blocks was from the starters, including the 4 swats that Chet Holmgren had in the middle. So, and of course, they're a good defensive team too. So they pretty much showed me in this game what they are made of on that defensive end, and could they really put together a nice game to beat the Kings, since the Kings has had their number for the 8 previous games before that, especially the last 2 this season. So yeah, nice game by SGA. And Jalen Williams, okay? Jalen Williams, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. He was 13 for 19 shooting from the floor, 2 for 4 in three-point land, 4 for 4 at the free throw line in 36 minutes. They are a really good free throw shooting team as well. Matter of fact, they were 22 for 27 at 81%, but I think that's right around their season average as far as shooting free throws. It might be a little lower than that, 79%, but it's pretty close though. But Jalen, oh boy, man, there was a time that towards the end of at the beginning of the second quarter, he just caught fire. I think he had 17 points. No, he had 19 points in the first half. So did SGA. They both had 19 points in the first half. So you know they were going to have a good game. So he ended up with 32 points in 36 minutes. Okay. Lou Dort. Okay. Lou Dort. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. Okay. He is shooting a lot better. He was 5 for 9 shooting from the floor. He made 3 of 5 from 3-point land. And he made all 4 of his free throws too. So you see he had made some improvements too. But he's a really good, excellent defender. I mean, he did have 3 steals in this one too. So he has improved his game too. Chet Holmgren, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks in 30 minutes. Okay, 2 steals and 4 blocks. 2 steals and 4 blocks. Okay, like I said, this team is one of the top in both categories, steals and blocks, and they pretty much proved that this afternoon against the Sacramento Kings. They shot 54% from the floor, 48% 3-point land. As we know, that's one of the Kings' Achilles heel, allowing teams to shoot either around 40% or well over 40%. I know the last two games, going back to the Cleveland Cavaliers, these teams have been shooting 50% or more from 3-point territory against the Kings. Well, this afternoon, the Thunder shot 48% in 3-point territory. And they did that. They made 13 of 27 shots in that category. So, I know, like, Kings jumped out to a 4.0 lead. Okay. And then Oklahoma City. SGA made it 3. Okay. And then Jalen Williams came back. He made it 3. Mike Brown calls a timeout. Okay. Because they were clearly wide open when they shot those trays. Okay. So Mike Brown called a timeout like, here we go again. And we're just getting into the game. Okay. We're just getting into the game. You guys letting them slide, with these 3-pointers. As a matter of fact, like I said, the Kings were up 4-0 to start the game in the first quarter. And all of a sudden, including those 2 threes that SGA hit, and then the next one by Jalen Williams, they went on an 18-4 run. So now they're up 18-8. 18-8 after the Kings had that little brief lead. 18-8. Okay? The Kings fought back. They went on a 14-3 run of their own, and they tied it up at 18-8 with a basket by Malik Monk. The Thunder, they rolled back out. Okay, so they in that quarter leading 29-27. So that was first quarter actions, and they opened up. Oklahoma City Thunder. They opened up with a 12-2 run. Well, yeah. They opened up with a 12-2 run in the second quarter, okay? And at one point, they were up 39-29 at that point. And they ended the first half leading 67-59. They had at least a 13-point lead in that first half of action stuff. But mainly that was Jalen Williams and SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They had 19 points apiece in that first half. And the Kings were turning over the ball, so that'll pretty much explain, what went on in those first 24 minutes. Okay. As I said, getting into the third quarter, okay, the King made a couple baskets in the third quarter. Oklahoma City, they turned it on. They went on a 15-3 run. They went on a 15-3 run. And they went on a 17-3 run here. Let me check my charts here. They went on a 17-3 run. They were up by 86-66. Okay. The Kings, they fought all the way back. Well, they finished up the third quarter. They were down 100-83 to Oklahoma City Thunder. So they started the fourth quarter. They fought all the way back and cut the lead by 7 points on a basketball Fox. So at this point, it's 110 to 103. 110 to 103 in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma City Thunder, they outscored the Kings 15-8, which made the score 15-8, capped off by a basket by Jalen Williams. That made it 125 to 111. So that was pretty much it, because that's at the end of the game. And of course, we see here the end result was Oklahoma City Thunder get to win 127 to 113. So the Kings were there. It seemed like they wasn't there. I mean, at one point, I'm like, hey, you're only down by 10 points. You can definitely come back in the association and win this game. And they looked like they were going to do that. Okay, but Oklahoma City Thunder were able to sustain everything that they were doing on the defensive end and the offensive end, and they pulled out the victory. But watching this game, okay, and it's great that the Kings beat the defending world champions the way they did at Golden One Center on Friday, okay, just before they embark on this 3-game journey. But it's going to be tough, folks. It really is. I don't care how you size it up, okay. As I said, look like Dallas and Phoenix. They about to make that move, okay. New Orleans is still ahead, okay. They're making that move. Houston, they done fell back a little bit. I think they're under 500 anyway. They struggle a little bit. Golden State, okay. Golden State is now 6-1 in their last 7 games, okay. They won last night. Of course. They beat the Phoenix Suns by 1 point, 113 to 112, okay. So they're in that play-in area as well, but they can still climb up the charts depending on what they do. I know there's been a lot of drama going on there in the Bay Area and San Francisco as well, but things about to get tightened up. So grab your popcorn, because that's just how interesting it's going to be here on out. Okay, the Kings going to have to win some ball games, and they're going to have to do it on the road, and they're going to have to do it at a consistent pace, as we all know. Okay, because nothing's given here. Okay, either you're going to move up the charts wherever you are, 5th or 7th, or you're going to fall down to number 10. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. Okay, if the playoffs started to get, okay, you would be one of the top 8 teams, okay? But if you fell down to that play-in and you only got 1 or 2 games, to seal a deal for the playoffs, I don't trust you right now. I'm just being perfectly honest, because you lost to Detroit, okay? That came in with 6-43. You lost to them at home, all right? And then you turn around and then you beat the Denver Nuggets the way you did, okay? As I reported in one of my articles, which I accompanied with these videos, and I hope you guys are reading that too, because it's like a tool. It's like a box of chocolate, okay? You don't know what you're going to get, let alone being Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, keep creeping up around Doco, downtown Commons. I don't trust this team right now with a play-in spot, okay? I still kind of skeptical about the first round of the playoffs. Should they, enter the playoff for a 7-game series against any one of these teams, okay? I have a trust factor with Sacramento Kings, okay? So either you're going to have to make some improvements with the roster that you have intact right now going into the last game in April, okay? They play Oklahoma City again in Oklahoma City, okay? And that was discussed on the telecast between Kyle Draper and Katie Christensen. I think they play again April 9th, okay? That's going to be like a playoff game. Or it's definitely going to have some implications on what the playoff run is going to look like, okay? At least positioning, seeding, okay? So from now until then, You got an all-star break. You get a little time with your family, refresh a little bit, relax a little bit, get away from basketball, at least from the court as far as games and stuff. You get to work some things out of there. But from here on out, this is where I'm really going to be paying attention to your performances, okay? And where you want to be or what you want to be, okay? And where Mike Brown and his coaching staff is going to have you, okay, as far as the mental aspect of this. Because it's not over. There's plenty of basketball to go over. Like I said, you can either climb up the charts or you can tumble all the way down to that 11th to 10th spot. And that ain't going to be cool. All right? That's not going to be cool. So I'm going to cut it off here. I'm preparing to watch this game as well, the Super Bowl game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. No, I don't have no dog in this fight, but I do expect a good game from these two, especially on the defensive end, because these are the two of the best defenses, on this large stage. Okay, so that's really where it's going to boil down to, as they usually do in the Super Bowl for the defense. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. Whoever win, congratulations. I'll say that before the game, because 49ers win, congratulations. Chiefs win, congratulations. But I know it's going to be a good game, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Now, I do want to thank you for taking the time out, to view this digital commentary, whether it's before the game or after the game. I hope it more than likely to be after the game. I know a lot of y'all, you're having activities with your families and friends while this Super Bowl take place. But I do want to thank you for tuning in and viewing this digital commentary. I will be back after the Phoenix game on Tuesday. Love, peace, and solidarity. I'm out.